Senior advisor to U.S. President Joe Biden Tuesday urged Hamas to accept the latest Gaza ceasefire proposal supported by the U.S. Senior advisor Amos Hochstein, on his second day in the region, met in Beirut Tuesday with the Speaker of the Lebanese Parliament, Nabi Berri. Speaking to reporters later, he said the ceasefire deal that's been on the table for weeks offers what Hamas needs.
The deal stops the war in Gaza. It lays out the schedule for the withdrawal of forces. If that's what Hamas wants, they should just say yes and accept it.
Hochstein was also in the region in an attempt to ease tensions on Israel's northern border and head off an escalation between Israel and Hezbollah, which have been exchanging airstrikes since the conflict in Gaza began October 7th. He met in Israel with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Monday. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Tuesday China's support for Russia's defense industry is prolonging the Ukraine war. Blinken told a joint news conference with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg in Washington, China is providing critical support that enables Russia to continue its war in Ukraine, not in the form of weapons, but other crucial economic support.
Some 70% of the machine tools that Russia is importing are coming from China. 90% of the microelectronics coming from China, and that has enabled Russia to keep that defense industrial base going, to keep the war machine going, to keep the war going. So that has to stop.
Echoing remarks he made Monday, Stoltenberg called for China to face consequences if it keeps supporting Russia. Stoltenberg said China cannot have it both ways. They cannot continue to have normal trade relations with countries in Europe and at the same time fuel the biggest conflict Europe has seen since the Second World War. For more on this and all the stories we're covering, visit our website, voanews.com. This is VOA News. New government figures show U.S. retail sales grew only slightly last month, indicating consumers are still nervous about inflation. AP correspondent Jennifer King reports.
Retail sales rose a meager 0.1% in May, and April sales were revised downward from unchanged to a 0.2% decline, according to the latest report from the Commerce Department. Sales of clothing and accessories were up slightly, and May spending rose 0.3% if you exclude gas. Although gas prices are falling, sales at gas stations, which include convenience items, were down 2.2%. Building and garden supplies were down 0.8%, and restaurant spending fell 0.3%. The government reports the job market is still strong and price increases have slowed, but anxiety over cumulative inflation has driven down consumer sentiment for the last 3 months. Jennifer King, Washington.
Police in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, Tuesday used tear gas, stun grenades, and a water cannon to disperse people protesting against a controversial finance bill. Reuters correspondent David Doyle reports.
Dozens were arrested in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, on Tuesday as they protested a controversial finance bill. The Finance Bill 2024 outlines revenue-raising proposals, some of which critics say could cripple sectors including financial and internet services, transport, manufacturing and retail. The bill was set to be discussed in Parliament on Tuesday. By the time the protest was underway, however, the National Assembly's Finance Committee had announced that it was dropping a few of the contentious clauses. That includes proposed VAT charges on financial services and foreign exchange transactions.
That's Reuters correspondent David Doyle reporting. New York's top court on Tuesday declined to hear Donald Trump's gag order appeal in his hush money case, leaving the restrictions in place following his felony conviction last month. AP correspondent Julie Walker has details.
In its ruling, the Court of Appeals on Tuesday found the order does not raise substantial constitutional issues that would warrant its intervention. The decision is the latest legal setback for the Republican frontrunner for president who has repeatedly railed against the gag order. The order prevents Trump from commenting on witnesses, jurors, and others who were involved in the case, but it could be short-lived. The trial judge is expected to rule soon on a defense request to lift the gag order. Meanwhile, Trump is scheduled to be sentenced in his hush money case July 11th. Julie Walker, New York.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.